Hi all, my name is Fahim and this is my week 9 progress video. So this week actually I took an extension, so I have been in the ninth week for 2 weeks now. So this week was Redux, right? And Redux is a state management um, tool, state management library that is used to manage all of our global state. So that's basically what we had to learn this week. And also we had to learn how to use JWTs, that is for authentication, how to make use of JWT to handle login, register and all of that stuff. So that was the main things that we had to learn today, this week. But I took a lot of time to study Redux this week. I was following the documentation actually. I was following the Redux Essentials. That is a part of their document in which they teach mainly the RTK library. And I took a lot of time to complete that because there was a lot of abstraction in how Redux toolkit is working. Like um, they provide a lot of things. Like Redux toolkit provides a lot of functions and methods that abstract away a lot of things. So you don't actually see what is happening under the hood. So I'm a person who does not like abstraction very much. If something is, I'm doing something, I want to know what each line of code is actually doing. So what ended up happening is that I went into the rabbit hole of researching every single one thing of Redux toolkit, and finding out what it's actually abstracting away. And doing that actually allowed me to learn a lot about Redux. That is how Redux was how Redux actually works under the hood. Now, I didn't actually start studying Redux on the first day. What I did on the first day was I tried to understand what Redux is first of all. Then I found out that it is a state management tool, right? But then I was like, why do we need this? What is the need for a tool to manage our state? Our state is just a simple thing. Why would we need a whole new other library? So I went on to search for why we actually need Redux and what pain it actually solves. So I found out that um, in bigger applications, managing state that is needed across many components is not an easy task. So that is why we have Redux and Redux toolkit. So first I understood that, and then that is when I started studying. After that I started studying. I went on online and searched for what the best resource is to study Redux, and there were a lot of mentions of a few YouTube videos, but mainly everyone was recommending the Redux documentation because it's really good documentation. The only problem with the documentation is that it's really lengthy, so it will take you a long time, especially if you're like me and you go through each one and you want to know what everything works. It would take a long time. It took me more than like 8 9 days to actually complete the whole thing, probably more than that. So yeah, but if you're a person who just you're fine with all of the abstraction, then you can learn Redux in just 2 days. That's enough, because there's not a lot of code that you have to um, memorize and understand. There's just a few things like creating the slices and exporting the reducers and configuring that in the Redux store. There's just a few things, and the concept is pretty simple, right? The concept of Redux is that you have um, Redux store that stores all of your state slices. It's called a slice because it's a part of the store, and each slice has its own reducer. So for example, you have the user slice, then all of the user information will be stored inside this user's slice, and this slice will have its own state. That will be the user state, and it will also have its own reducer. Now a reducer is a function that um, does something according to actions that are dispatched. Now I know that sounds like a lot of just random words, but what first of all, let's understand what actions are. Actions are just like events in JavaScript, right? It's events to our front end that tells that something has happened and you have to decide if you actually want to change your state because of this new action that has happened. Now, who is the person who is listening to these actions? It's the reducers. The reducers listen to all of the actions, and they will decide if they should actually change their state according to what has happened. So, I'll give you an example. Let's say we have a counter, and we have a counter slice, and when a button is clicked, a new action is created that says counter incremented. Now, this reducer will now listen to this and will understand that it has to do something to um, do make a difference in the UI. So the number has to go up, right? So this action understands this and bumps up the number by 1. So the counter now becomes 2. So that's basically the idea of how Redux works. And it's a pretty simple idea really, but there's a lot of things, minute things that you can learn about it. So that's why it took so long. So that's all from me for this week. I hope you learned something. Thank you.